Hey everybody. As the first round of Season 1 Championship is winding down here, the final 10 days and some 14 hours and 14 minutes remain. We have the final special event now unlocked. That is, of course, limited series featuring this beautiful McLaren Senna. Let's check in here. And it's a 7-day event. So you have the 10 days and 14 hours and change as I am making this video right now to start the event. And once you start the event, you will have 7 days to wrap it up. So yeah. And for the rewards, of course, if you don't own the car, you will get to win the car plus some 5,250 victory points and 100 additional gold and 200,000 racing dollars. Now, 100 gold seems like, good payout. And it is, if you already can meet the PR requirement or you're pretty close to meeting the PR requirement, because when they're promising you 100 gold, they are going to charge you quite a bit up front. And by that, what I mean by that is the PR requirement, right? So, here, let's check in and see what we got here. McLaren Senna limited time series. Earn a McLaren Senna by 100% completing this special limited time series. As its name implies, this machine is a true force to be reckoned with, ready to conquer any track it is unleashed upon. It is a solid machine, by the way. Arguably one of the best McLaren has to offer in this game. Of course, there's a GTR version of Senna as well, which is just over the top. Really solid racer. Anyway, for the rewards, here's the breakdown of the total rewards broken down into 25% completion increment. So the first 25% completion wins you 750 victory points, 10 gold and 20,000 racing dollars. And to meet that, by the way, you will need to complete the tier 4, and that will require your car to have PR 71.9. And this car racing dollar upgrades alone doesn't quite get you up there. It gets you up to 70.7. So in this event, if you don't own this car already, or if you only have racing dollar upgrades on this car, then no free gold for you, unfortunately. Anyway, 50% completion gets you 1,000 victory points, 20 additional gold, and 40,000 racing dollars. And 75. Oh, by the way, 50% completion. Of course, you need to reach tier 8 and win just 2 gold trophies here, which means tier 7 is what you need to complete, and that will require PR 75. All right, and then, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's check the 75% completion reward here, which includes 1,500 victory points, 30 additional gold, and 60,000 racing dollars, and that requires winning a single gold trophy in tier 12, which means you have to complete tier 11, and that requires PR requirement up 78.7, and of course 100% completing wins you the car, which is worth 850 gold if you're to buy it outright. And since this car is featured in multiple series along with other cars, there is a showcase discount, so if you knock off 20%, you still have to pay some 680 gold. So not exactly a cheap car. And I mean, that is just to get the car, not talking about any upgrades, right? And then you got 2,000 victory points, 40 additional gold, and 80,000 racing dollars. So that adds up to be 100 gold and 200,000 racing dollars and 5,250 victory points, which is what you earn from these limited series, as we've learned from the other Porsche 911 RSR limited series. So anyway, on this account, I don't own this car. So now if you complete an event, it will trigger 24 hours of instant service and instant R&D on racing dollar upgrades. So don't start upgrading right away. Complete a race first, and then that will trigger that 24 hours of instant service and or the instant offers, right? Anyway, this car's base PR, as you can see here, starts at 66.2, and obviously to reach the PR 82.7, you're gonna have to spend a fair bit of gold. So here's what you got to do. You have to max out engine, get 3 upgrades on drivetrain, max out body, and get 3 upgrades on suspension, exhaust, brakes, and max out tires and wheels. So let's just do that and see how much it costs. So I'll here, let's do all the racing dollar ones first. Tier 1, just to show you how far it gets you here. All right. So tier 1 upgrades, they are 12-hour. Normally it'll take 12 hours to get them done, and they cost you a total of 770,500 racing dollars, right? And let's get it done. And that brings the PR up to 70.7, as I was saying, and so that's a boost of 4.5 PR points. Got ways to go here. So tier 2 upgrades are all going to be gold. It's where things start to get a little pricey. Alright, so let's go ahead and get all the tier 2 upgrades, which does unlock tier 3 racing dollar upgrades. So it's following that formula, if you will, where odd number tier upgrades are racing dollars while the even ones are gold. Alright, so all the tier 2 upgrades cost you some 465 gold, brings your PR up to 75.2, so that's additional boost of 4.5 PR points. And then let's get on to tier 3, which is the racing dollar upgrades across the board. And this car was originally featured, introduced to us in a track day format. I'll have the link to my original playthrough of the track day event to win this car back in the day in the description box below. So if you guys are interested, feel free to check that out. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned that is if any of you guys watching have won this car from that, then you understand you most likely have 20 on upgrades total, 3 upgrades across the board, because that's track day events, they require PR requirement, right? So yeah, and the tier 3 racing dollar upgrades do take a full day. So let's get that across the board, which will unlock the next tier where available gold upgrades. Where it's not, we maxed out, like exhaust and brakes. Alright, so with those upgrades, tier 3 upgrades completed, brings PR up to 79.7. So if your PR is 79.7, basically haven't touched or haven't upgraded, put any more upgrades since you won this car through track day event, well, you can still win, complete 75% completion in this series, which means there's essentially that's 60 free gold. And also remember, you get to pick up victory points, which depending on your situation could be awarding you some additional in-game resources. Now, if you've been running through all the special events in the current version, most likely you've won all there is to win, and there isn't gonna be a whole lot more that you're gonna be able to get in terms of gold rewards, because in order to pick up the final gold reward, 25 additional gold, you're gonna have to do everything, right? 100% complete everything and do every single weekly time trial. So if you don't do 100% completion here, you would be coming short of 2,000 victory points from that 25 gold, additional gold that you can win. But with that being said, those additional gold rewards can kind of offset your net cost. You understand? Right? So that's something to kind of keep in mind for figuring out the net cost here. But anyway, so to get the PR up to 75, to get the, well, in order to complete 75% completion, yeah, PR 78.7 is required, which, I mean, you have to spend 465 gold here. Now, obviously, in order to complete this event whole, you need PR 82.7. So let's go ahead and see which path is the best path. And anytime we do these rerun limited time series kind of events, you're gonna have to go with upgrades that have maxed out, basically the ones that give you additional racing dollar upgrades, meaning in this case we're talking engine and body because they have 5 tiers. So by getting the tier 4 gold upgrades, even though engine gold upgrade is pretty pricey, you're unlocking the next tier 5 racing dollar upgrades. So basically you're getting 2 upgrades for the cost of the gold. And you know, if you have to keep track of your racing dollars, then as I always say, you probably cannot afford the car. But anyway, so let's max out engine. Right, that brings PR up to 81.1. Getting warmer, right? And then let's max out body. Same scenario here. That combination of racing dollar and gold, right, brings the PR up to 82.1. So we still need 0.6 PR points high. Now, the remaining categories that have upgrades available are all dead end upgrades, meaning 1 gold upgrades, and that's it. So it's just, you know, we just have to find the cheapest one that's gonna get us the 0.6 PR point boost. Drivetrain definitely does it, but it does cost you 170 gold. Suspension also can pull it off, but it does cost you 155 gold compared to tires and wheels, which does bring your PR up to 82.7 as well for, you know, a little less, 145, right? So that's either 170, 155, or 145? 145, obviously, is cheaper. So that is your upgrade tree or upgrade scheme, right? 535, 3334, and that will cost you the total of 930 gold. And yeah, you needed to get every racing dollar upgrades available on this car, which means 3,673,600 racing dollars. Now, obviously, you want to take advantage of that instant service or instant upgrade offer, because otherwise, those tier 5 upgrades are going to take 2 full days. So, yeah, don't start upgrading until you get the you complete the first race, right? So, and obviously, if you already have 3 upgrades across the board, then in order to go 100% here, you have to shell out a decent amount of gold. I mean, 185 for the engine, 135 for body, and additional 145 for the tires and wheels. So let's see what that all adds up to be. 465 additional gold. So in order to pick up 40 extra gold, I mean, that's really dismal return if you're doing it to get something back, right? Now, the benefit of getting your PR up to 82.7, however, is that you will be able to 100% complete one of the bonus series this car's featured in, Raw Performances, or Raw Performance, where this car's the only car that can 100% complete, and you need PR 82.6. So by getting the PR up to 82.7, obviously you can get that done. And there's total of 66 gold to be won in that bonus series. So that, of course, kind of brings down the net cost. Also featured in another bonus series, Aggressive Aerodynamics. Now that one is really the Brabham series, the BT62. So this car doesn't quite get you 100% complete even with the PR 80 2.7, but it'll get you 75% if your Brabham doesn't have enough PR, because it's the only car that can 100% complete that series. So that means there's additional some 45 gold to be won there. So, and the third event or series this car is featured in is an exclusive series, which means you cannot enter with this PR. You need to fully max out all the upgrades, which means it will cost you additional some 300 gold or so. Here, let's see, because total maxing out this one will cost you 1255 gold. So if you bring your PR up to 82.7, you've already spent 930. So in order to unlock the exclusive series, you'll have to shell out another 325 gold. And, well, is it gonna be worthwhile? Well, it never is it? The exclusive series pays out 150 gold total and some 500,000 racing dollars. But yeah, even after you complete this limited time series to win this car or win additional gold, you will have to spend another 325 gold to complete that or get in the, meet the requirement, right? So yeah, not sure if that is necessarily worth it just out of pocket. On my other account, I do have this car fully maxed out because we've had upgrade discount. So my recommendation, go as far as you can with the, whatever is required or whatever you can afford, and then wait for the upgrade discount. It just makes your in-game currency go just a bit further, So, now, with that being said, I obviously don't have enough gold on this account to unlock the rest of the series. So let me hop on over to my other account and see if I can unlock and go through just kind of give you guys overview of the series itself, what you can expect. So let me pause the video here and I'll be right back.